What's up, YouTube? It's Artisan MC, and this PMDM is just a little special for me. It's just a little something I wanted to put out there and talk about real quick while I was thinking about it, and it won't be very long. It won't be very long at all. But I wanted to say, if you guys didn't know, today marked the second manned flight of Blue Origin's New Harvest, New Horizon, whatever the fuck it's called. Um, Independent space rocket. And William Shatner, at 90 years old, went into space for about, 4 minutes or so, 4 or 5 minutes, and came back down to Earth safely. And I watched that and I was thinking how wild it was that somebody I've watched on TV for decades play a space traveler in space, Captain Kirk, actually finally went into space. And how kind of huge that is that reality can be stranger than fiction sometimes. That a fake space captain finally went into space and he wasn't a captain, he was just a passenger. So it was a little interesting, being that I really get into sci-fi. Science was always one of my first loves, and space travel, astronomy, and traveling to other planets always excites my imagination and really gets me looking forward in time to wondering where we will be and realizing how small we actually are. 1 second. Of course, as soon as I fucking go live, somebody wants to contact me on my work phone. Been silent for over an hour. What the fuck? Really? Gotcha. Um, so it's really interesting to watch these things because for me, I like looking up. I like being hopeful. I like looking forward, and I like looking up. And understanding that being on this ball of dirt is one thing, but a lot of the real mysteries in life are out away from this place. And increasingly, I do believe that they will just leave black folks here. This is what the fuck it is. And it may not be all black folks. It may not just be ADOS folks. It may be some other ones. So maybe some will go. But those are the ones who actually get into STEM and get into the sciences and stuff and find a way to get the fuck off of this dirt ball before they completely, blow it up or make it implode. So watching, space travel and stuff like that, it actually makes me remember and keep things in context and how small everything we do down here really is. It is. Last time I was watching one of these independent space launches, and I think it was for the other crazy dude, Tesla dude, right? Elon Musk was putting one of his automated rockets up, and I can't remember what the internet was all fixated on at the time, but it was small in comparison to what I was watching on the screen, which was this freaking automated capsule and rocket going into space and docking with a space station. That's pretty fucking cool to me, right? Now, today, amongst all of this BS, with everybody flipping out about what Dave Chappelle said and what Superman's son is doing and all this goofiness and what ugly chick, because that would be correct in calling him that now, what ugly chick who's writing a show called Dear White People had to say about Chappelle. Amongst all of that ridiculousness, William Shatner went into space. We sent another group of human beings into space for like a quick visit. For like a quick visit. And this is not coming from NASA or Chinese space or Russian or nothing like that. No, this is just the Amazon dude. Yep. Same dude that's making sure you get your Pampers and your book to your house on time. Threw some more people up into space. And one of your cultural iconic heroes. Now, when I saw that, I was thinking about what people would say when they finally, the news of this reached them because I watched it live, right? I get into this shit. This is another channel that I sub to because I don't just sub to BS, right? So I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I'm looking at the people who are on the capsule, and it's only like 4 people. William Shatner being one of them. What's up, Charles? To the Woo Beast. Woo! And I'm sitting there thinking about what would be said later on. And I know one of the critiques that'll come out about this whole thing is that, oh, there ain't no black folks on there. I wonder how much Will Shatner paid for that ticket to get on that thing. Oh, Jeff Bezos just got too much goddamn money. And internally, I start rolling my eyes about that shit. Internally, I start rolling my eyes about it, like, oh my God, I know what I'm going to hear. And the reason being is just to answer those 3 questions. Because I've had this argument with a female I was dating before about how much money somebody like Bezos has and he shouldn't have that much money and all the rest of that. And I had to tell her to answer the third question first is what service do you provide that everybody else has to pay for? Nothing? Okay, then. Well, since he's running, as far as I know, a worldwide company, multinational company that does that, he should get paid whatever he's getting paid. His wife didn't have a problem cashing her check when she divorced, did she? Don't matter what you think about Jeff Bezos as a person. Using his services, pay him his money. And by paying him his money, he gets a cut of that, along with keeping the company going. So he has some, I don't know, some liquid funds where he can do some other stuff like, I don't know, build his own rockets to send people into space and turn a profit on it if he wants to. Now, the other question was how much did Will Shatner pay for a ticket on there? I don't think Will Shatner had to pay for a ticket on that rocket. I really don't. You know why? I think it's good branding for William Shatner, Paramount, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Blue Origin, all the brands associated with what just happened. I think it was good publicity for them to send Captain Kirk into space. I think it was. I think it was pretty awesome for them. So he probably just got it on the free ski. Pretty much, because the money they're gonna make off of that advertisement is nothing. Like, dude, we don't even have to care about this part. Damn cord. Never sits correctly. I hate these ones that have this bigger node hanging on there. Always choking. Yeah, BMT. I don't like people who pocket watch either. And people do that shit way too often. Black folks especially. They pocket watch, they number watch, they sub count, All of this shit that has no concern of you. It's no concern of yours. And even if it is, you don't have to tell everybody that shit either. So anyway, the last question that I thought was the most poignant one to me, which was the first question would probably be off of everybody's lips when they start seeing pictures of this, is why are the white people up there? Which could be a fair question. If you didn't take into account that at least ADOS black people that we know of around these parts, some of the richest black folks in the world, ain't none of them paying for a ticket to get on this damn rocket. None of them. I can see how many cars they got. I can see how many pairs of tennis shoes they got. I can see how much they spent on their last watch or their chain or their ring or some bullshit like that. But none of them putting any money towards anything bigger than themselves. All nigger rich shit. That's it. Now just say, because I thought about this. I saw William Shatner go up and come back down safely, right? Okay, all well and good. Who is going to be the first black person to pay to do that? Who's going to be the first? Who is going to be the first hip hop artist in space? Since it's cheap for them now, they can pay and go. Why isn't Jay-Z and Beyonce on one of those rockets for Jeff Bezos? Why not Obama? Why not? I had to ask myself this damn question because I'm thinking of all these black people who are really rich, who could afford this like nothing. Dude, what does it look like? 30 minutes out of your day? William Shatner at 90 years old ain't been through no intensive astronaut training. Get the fuck out of here. He wouldn't make it. But I just watched this dude at 90 years old go up and come back down. Took no time. You could watch a movie in less time or more time. Excuse me. Yeah, Toya. Why ain't Neil deGrasse up there? Why ain't they sending Neil deGrasse Tyson up there? Why not? He's a physicist. Obviously, the technology work. What are you afraid of? Getting killed? Look, and I'm really focusing on our rappers right now. As many black rappers that we have that have a crap load of money and always wanting to push it out there and be the first to do something. Why are they so focused on just themselves? Nothing bigger like that. Do you realize if you, as a common rapper, since they're the ones who have the most disposable fucking income from what I can see, pay to go up in space, you would be down in history forever? Just getting on the rocket, you go down in history. Going up into space, you would go down in history. And if while you were up in space and they're sitting there recording your cabin conversation for the world to hear, you spit a hot 16, that'd be the verse heard around the world. That would literally be the verse heard around the world. When you said you had an astronomical rhyme, that would actually be fact. It would actually be a fact. As soon as you came down, you could sell a whole new album. You'd probably go diamond the first week. Just spitting about your experience going up into space. Bullshit, BMT. I ain't believing that. I know there's two rappers right now that can actually afford a fucking ticket, even if it was in the hundreds of millions. Jay-Z and fucking Kanye. Because don't tell me how they billionaires and they can't cut a check for that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't. I really don't. And this is my philosophy on this situation. Black folks think too motherfucking small. We think too goddamn small. That's why if there was ever a vast expanse of people leaving this planet, we'd be fucking left here because one, we don't educate ourselves to be at the front of that line, and then two, we too fucking pussy to actually do anything about it, even if we got the goddamn money. We'll waste it on bullshit. That's why I don't celebrity worship. It's bullshit. Why the fuck do I care about how many cars this nigga can buy? How many can he drive at one time? Why do I give a fuck about how much he spent on the ice around his neck? Why do I care? You got the gross domestic product of some small shit black country around your neck, and I'm supposed to give a fuck and clap you up for that shit? Fuck you. There's other shit in the world going on. And this speck of bullshit that we're sitting on is the smallest part of it. If you want to duck your head in the sand and pretend like this is everything that ever mattered, cool. Cool. I'll quote a line from one of my favorite movies, Contact. That if this is all there is, it's an awful waste of space. And I ain't about wasting space. I'm trying to maximize everything I do. Everything. Why do you think I multitask so much? Now I have to look at something like that and see where it's at to go up and whatnot. And truth be told, he's probably not at the height of his earning potential. He probably at the lower end of it. He on his way out this bitch. But he got to do that. And I think about it, about the black people who could afford to do that shit, they probably even wouldn't. Probably wouldn't. But I know a working nigga like me, I'd sit on that goddamn launch pad. I would. If they was giving out free tickets, I'd be on that fucking launch pad. Because if I could afford it, I'd fucking do it. You wouldn't see me with all this other stuff. Oh, I just went out and bought out the bar and bought out this weekend and bought a whole floor of a hotel for a week. Who gives a fuck? So, but you know what you would see? That motherfucker Artisan just went to space. Do you believe that shit? Yeah, and I'm going back next week, bitch. I'd be the nigga with the most consecutive trips in the history books forever. Shit, I could wear Jordan number and do that shit. Shit, I would fucking live stream. I'd be streaming from the capsule just like I'm streaming now. Yeah, we up in space like a motherfucker. Here's a picture of all of you watching me while I'm streaming. See you in a minute. I'm coming back down. And when I land in the desert, I'm a sea walk, and I ain't even a crip. All this shit. Motherfuckers think too small. That's what upsets me. Black people are some of the most brilliant people I can think of who do things that most people that have never been born under our circumstances would ever think to do, most innovative and creative, and we think so goddamn small, it's actually pathetic. It is. It's depressing in some ways because we have so much more potential. I really wanted to see the aliens that taught them to make that machine in contact. I didn't need to. That was a perfect point that they made in that movie, BMT, that this was a step. In time, there will be others. Why? Because everything doesn't happen at once. You got to work for it. You have to put in the work to do it. And the first step was getting the fucking planet on board with what the hell was going on to understand, look, we need to dead this shit down here on this planet. We got other stuff to be focused on. And if we work together, we can get it done. But if we keep bitching about who's gonna be the first one and who's gonna be up front in the picture and who's gonna get the most money out of this shit, we'll never get anywhere. And nobody ever fuck with us. It won't matter. If y'all kill yourselves, you kill yourselves. But if you're ready to step into this larger world and grow up a bit, you can come up here with us and we'll give you another step so you can catch up. Stupid. You should dream of space battles after watching animes and so many space battles and dreaming. Dude, I've always dreamed of space. One of my favorite things to do, and you guys can think I'm funny for doing this shit, but I don't give a fuck. I've been a weird kid for a long time. I can care a fuck less. Is going out to an empty field at night, baseball field or whatever, getting to the center of that motherfucker and laying down in the grass and just looking up at the stars. And look and see how far out you can see. One of the things I do is I look for the black spots in between stars and focus on that and see what stars come into relief. Because this light is taking so long to come to us anyway. So maybe if you sit there and wait long enough, you can see it finally show up. That's what makes it look like it's twinkling. I can trace constellations. I got my app on my phone that can show me all the constellations. And I can sit there and pick out planets from stars and see the curvature of the universe and where they are circling. See the arc in the universe of where they're spinning. That shit is amazing to me. And it's absolutely disappointing to me to think that somebody like myself with the interest and the mind that I have will never actually have the opportunity to see none of that shit. And people with the ability to won't. They more worried about how many bottles they popped. And I'll fuck off that money on that. But to each their own, I guess. To each their own, I guess. Oh, Death Racer, I know there's nothing weird. I know there's nothing weird about it. But I also know society and how black culture is. If you say anything that goes away from just the hood, you fucking weird. That's it. That's just how it works. You say anything about education, learning science, learning chemistry, learning astrophysics, learning just fucking physics, just science. If I start going into how much I enjoy that CERN project, and your motherfuckers think this nigga is crazy. No, I'm not fucking crazy. I live in the world, not just the hood. And my interests are multi-dimensional outside of this space. I'm not just gonna turn in a circle so you can see all my sides. No, motherfucker. I'm gonna move between a bunch of different worlds. Construction is one, geekdom is one, science is one, psychology is another one. These are dimensions that you can go into if you have the key, you have the knowledge to get there. Facets are for stones. Cool. Personalities have facets. But as a human being, a living person, you got to be able to walk within different worlds. You got to, especially as a black person. You exist in two worlds already. Already, all the time. Between two dimensions. The dimension of being black and the dimension of dealing with these white folks out there in the world. Two dimensions. I'm a multi-dimensional person. And that ain't a shot to my boy Charles. That's just how he interprets it. I interpret it completely different. Now, the other part I'll say on this, and then I'll go ahead and get back to work because I know Sheep is live, and I want to see what Sheep is talking about with this whole Superman Son BS. I'll talk about that shit on Sunday. I'm not talking about that stuff now. Let everybody get their gusto out about that, and then I'll come in and close it out. But I will say it was cool seeing William Shatner go up and come back down. That was really cool. That was something I would love to do. It's something I would love to do. I would. I'd love to be a passenger on that shit. I want to know how much it costs. So maybe, just maybe, I'll work. I'm still healthy. I'll save up my own fucking money and go. If it seems to be reasonable for me, but it's probably not because I understand the cost of the shit. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. Not. Maybe they can get a GoFundMe to send a regular Negro up there. Don't know, but it would be cool to see somebody with a bunch of money could probably do it before they send some other rapper that these motherfuckers don't like, a celebrity that they don't like up there. Maybe y'all should get your shit together and send somebody else up there. He ain't got to go up there and be a scientist. He could just go up. Would you pay to see Andre 3000 up in space, Spitter-Verse? I would. I'd call him 3001 after he came back. That'd be some shit. I'd pay for that. Shit. So, last note, I'm going to get out of here because I got to get to work. But seeing Will go up and come back down was cool. I'm happy for him that he made it. He survived because, mind you, I'm the generation who watched Challenger blow up on TV. Okay, I'm the generation that saw that shit live. Like, oh fuck. Okay, I've been through this shit. It's antsy. It's more antsy than a motherfucker going up in an airplane. Okay, more antsy. But I have to say, I love seeing that rocket fucking take off. That motherfucker was moving. It looks like a freaking video game. Cameras nowadays are so good. It looks like a goddamn video game. Like, holy shit. That's beautiful. The fact that the technology works so that the main booster can separate and come down and land on its own. Like, next up. And here's where my second thought came from. Will went up, the rocket landed back down. You know what I thought when I saw that shit? Outside of why didn't Jay-Z pay for a ticket on this thing? Mark Hamill, you're next, sir. Your seat's waiting. Now, the funny part is, I follow Mark Hamill on Instagram. I'm going to put that shit on his Instagram. Like, awesome. Skywalker, you're up. Because I want Mark Hamill to go up next. I'm going to start electing motherfuckers to go. See if I can get that movement started. Because there's certain people I want to see go up there. I do. Since it's just there for people to do, I don't have to spend my whole life in the Air Force and possibly get into the aerospace program and hopefully get picked up by NASA. Nah, I just got to chump my money out and I got a seat. Cool. That should make it really accessible for everybody, which is what these two rich billionaires are on, making space accessible to everybody. And I don't see a problem with that because it can't be racist if you can pay and go yourself, can't you? Is it? Can't be. If you got the money for that shit, and not all of us do. I understand in this world, everybody ain't fucking rich. There's only a small percentage of them that are. Okay, all well and good. As long as you're doing shit to help other people come up and get the experiences that you can have at your level, then why do I need to be rich too? Half of you motherfuckers understand this shit. How many of you got access to somebody else's Netflix account and you ain't even paying for that shit? Your rich friend is making it possible for you to have some shit that you can't afford. And ain't just keeping it to themselves. Fuck you, get your own. I guess that's how it worked down here on Earth. In the meantime, thank you guys for showing up. I'm going to go ahead and get to my call, but I appreciate you coming up and listening to my little spiel on this shit. And I'm Artisan MC, and this has been my philosophy.